We continue on page 2 and 3, and Leanne Saul will lead us in the candle blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter the sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel
Page 6. We enter this sanctuary to welcome Shabbat. Within these walls, we sit surrounded by numberless generations. Our ancestors built the synagogue as a visible sign of God's presence in their midst. Throughout our long history and our endless wanderings, it has endured, a beacon of truth, love, and justice for all humanity. Its presence guided our ancestors to lives of righteousness, holding up to them a vision of their truest selves. Let us continue praying together. Now we, in our turn, come into this sanctuary to affirm the sacredness of our lives. May we enter this place in peace. May holiness wrap us as we cross its threshold. Weariness, doubt, the flaws within our human hearts, the harshness of the weak, let these drop away at the door. In the brightness of Shabbat, let peace settle upon us as we lift our hearts in prayer. Please turn now to page 24 for Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Please turn now to page 28 as we rise for the Baruch Hu.
La 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 la.
Praise Adonai, to whom praise is due forever. Praise be Adonai, to whom praise is due now and forever. Page 30. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chokma poteach she'arim, uvitbuna meshane itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umesader et hakokavim b'mishmerotehem barakir kertzono, bore yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or, uma'avir yom umevi layla, umavdil ben yom uven layla Adonai tzivot shmo. El chai v'kayam tamid yumloch aleinu le'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai ha'ma'ariv aravim. On page 32, everlasting love you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai, our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Malchuto le'olam ha'ed.
Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Blessed is God's glorious majesty forever and ever. Please be seated.
You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your strength, with all your being. Set these words which I command you this day upon your heart. Teach them faithfully to your children. Speak them in your home and on your way. When you lie down, when you rise up, write them as a sign upon your hand. Let them be a symbol before your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and upon your gates. I am Adonai, your God.
In the middle of page 39, let us pray responsively. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea.
kodesh, nora tehilot, osei pele, nora tehilot, osei pele. Malachut echara unavecha, ukia yom lefnei Moshe, ze elihanu ve'amru, ze elihanu ve'amru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Mi amoka ba'elim Adonai, mi amoka nehda b'kodesh, Torah tehilot osei pele, Torah tehilot osei pele.
Page 42. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace, and raise us up our guardian to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel, for your name's sake. Be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and coming to life and to peace evermore. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, v'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. On page 44, we continue with Yismachu.
Yismachu b'machucha, shomrei Shabbat, shomrei Shabbat. Yismachu b'machucha, shomrei Shabbat, shomrei Shabbat. Am kadeshei shavei, kulam yisbehu. Shabbat, shomrei Shabbat, Yismachu b'machucha, shomrei Shabbat, shomrei Shabbat, v'hashpehi b'tzitamu, v'kidashtu, v'en yamim oto karata, zecher lema'aseh reishit, Yismachu b'machucha, shomrei Shabbat, shomrei Shabbat, Yismachu b'machucha, shomrei Shabbat, shomrei Shabbat. Emdot yamim oto karata, zecher lema'aseh
Page 46, please rise for the tefillah.
Na אתה, רב להושיע מוריד הטל. נקבל חיים וחסד, חיי הטוב ורחמים. נקבל דרכי חיים, ונוציא נשרים. ומחייהם אמונתו לשני אבות. מאהבת הגלות, ולנו מדינה. ולכללי ומחייהם ומצליח ישועו. ונאמנתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה, אדוני, מחיה הכל.
Page 52, אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלע, ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. Please be seated and we continue on 54. You set aside the seventh day for your name, the pinnacle of creation, and you blessed it above all other days, more sacred than all festival times. So it is written in your Torah, the heaven and the earth were finished in all their array. On the seventh day God had completed the work that had been done, ceasing then on the seventh day from all the work that God had done. Then God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, and ceased from all the creative work that God had chosen to do. Let us continue praying together at the bottom of the page. Our God and God of our ancestors, be pleased with our rest, sanctify us with your mitzvot, and grant us a share in your Torah. Satisfy us with your greatness, and gladden us with your good. Purify our hearts to serve you in truth. In your gracious love, Adonai our God, grant as our heritage your holy Shabbat, that Israel, who sanctifies your name, may rest on it. Praise to you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh ha-Shabbat. On the top of page 57, ever-present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayer. Wherever we live, wherever we seek you in this land, and Zion restored in all lands, you are our God, whom alone we serve in reverence. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otcha levatcha v'yir'ana avot. And on the top of page 59, let us pray together. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shemcha, ulecha na'eh lechodot. Shalom Rav.
Yes,
us continue with a few moments of private silent prayer. Page 253, Prayers for Healing. We offer special prayers for all those who are suffering, those who are in Afghanistan, those who have left Afghanistan, those who are suffering because of the floods and the fires and the pandemics and all the other grief. that we're dealing with right now. Mishaberach avotenu ve'imotenu Avraham Yitzchak ve'Yaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah Hu yivarech et hacholim. May the one who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal those who are ill. And we mention in particular members of our congregational family and our friends, Marvin Morse, Ralph Einstein, Rabbi Jonathan Katz, Ralph Price, Gloria Sabin, Sylvia Pastor, Marlene Gardner, Maria and Anthony Salerson Joyner and their children, Judy Kopak. And those of you who have additional names you'd like to mention, please share with us. Now, Elise, go first, then we'll move back. Yeah.
Sarah Rose.
Do I see? Yes, Carol.
Rabbi Sheldon Sinai.
May they all be granted a refuah shlema, an easy and quick recovery. May the Blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for their health to be restored and their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit. And let us all say amen as we sing together. At the bottom of the page, a prayer of thanksgiving on behalf of those of us who are doing okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shegemalanu kol tov. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who has bestowed every goodness upon us. And may the one who has bestowed goodness upon us continue to bestow every goodness upon us forever. On page 258, prayers for our community. Source of all being, may the children of this community learn these passions from us: love of Torah, devotion and prayer in support of the needy. May we guide with integrity, and may our leadership be in your service. May those who teach and nourish us be blessed with satisfaction, and may we appreciate their time and their devotion. Bless us with the fruits of wisdom and understanding, and may our efforts bring fulfillment and joy. Baruch atah Adonai she'otcha levadcha b'yirah na'avot. Thus says Adonai, this is what I desire, to unlock the fetters of wickedness and untie the cords of lawlessness, to let the oppressed go free, to break off every yoke. Share your bread with the hungry, and take the wretched poor into your home. When you see the naked, give clothing, and do not ignore your own kin. If you banish the yoke from your midst, the menacing hand, the evil speech, if you offer compassion to the hungry and satisfy the famished creature, then your light shall shine in darkness. Avinu Shebashamayim.
Shabbat defend our holy land. Avinu, Shabbat Shamayim, deliver them from the pits
Once again, let me say how happy I am to see all of you who are here in the sanctuary. And I also want to give a special word of welcome for those of you who are joining us through live streaming. Live streaming doesn't happen by itself, and special words of appreciation need to be given, especially to Shauna Johnson, who has made this possible from a technical perspective. Thank you, Shauna. We are living in challenging times, and every day it seems to be more and more challenging. I can't talk about everything tonight, but I want to focus on one issue from two perspectives. And obviously, you'll figure out that I'm talking about Texas. Totalitarian governments have a lot in common. They encourage their citizens to spy on other citizens and reward them for it. What a great opportunity to get back at somebody you don't like or a competitor. It destroys any kind of trust in society. I could elaborate on that for a long time. But I want to talk about another issue related to Texas. And it fits in well with this week's Torah reading. Just happens to fit. For at the end of this week's Torah reading, it says, choose life. Don't tell me all religions are the same. We Jews have a different understanding as to when life begins. Whether you like the understanding or not, it's once the baby is out of the mother. You want to argue, you want to feel differently, you want to tug emotionally, doesn't matter, that's where we stand. Our position is quite different from other religious and cultural groups. And where many of us would say the government should not be involved in abortion at all, and the URJ and this particular rabbi certainly feel that way. Historically, maybe we haven't been so open, but abortion was not considered murder the way it is by other people. And I have to give a big footnote. For those rabbis who say it is like murder, so is embarrassing somebody in public, according to the tradition. We have different approaches to life, when life begins and the meaning of life. And when we say choose life, if it is a matter of choice between the survival of the woman and the survival of the fetus, in Jewish tradition, you don't have a choice. The mother has to be, the woman has to be protected. And I won't quote you the gory passages from the Mishnah as to how this has to be done if necessary. It's a weird feeling, if I can say this, because I thought I didn't have to talk about this stuff anymore. Somewhere or another, all my notes from sermons of 30 plus years ago are once again relevant. I say this because I feel we need to know what our history and what our tradition has taught us. And even if we disagree with it, we should be aware. We should not allow ourselves to be swept up in a sense of, oh, we're rebelling against what we should really teach because of our open-minded views. Whether we're open-minded or not, our history tells us something that is quite different, teaches us something that is quite different. And I know what we did in the past may not be relevant for the present. But I think there was an openness and an understanding, and if we have any kind of understanding for our fellow human beings, when I saw people lining up to get on planes to save their lives, and they're there with nothing, and I think of all the things that I'm more guilty than anybody else, the things we own, the physical possessions. I think it makes a lot of sense that the Roman army called your luggage, your baggage, your impediments. Because when you, impedimenta, because when you have to escape, and just yourself or your family and forget about everything else, you realize what is important. And when you think of people, and we saw some of the scenes on television in the subways or in basement apartments in Pennsylvania, in New England, or the fires in California or Louisiana, again, Katrina was just like yesterday in many of our minds. And then, next Shabbat, next Saturday, the Shabbat between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, is the 20th anniversary of 9/11. And we could get together and where were you when you heard the news? And where were you when you processed what was really happening? And where were you when you felt, correctly or incorrectly, that at a certain point there weren't more planes crashing into more buildings? I offer a prayer for everyone who is suffering. I also want to express my sense of gratitude and thanksgiving that I'm okay. When we had a horrible rainstorm the other night, and someone asked me, how on earth did you get home, etc., and I said to myself on the ride, at least when I got there, it wasn't snow and I didn't have to shovel it. I'm glad I'm in Florida and not up north. I've said that many times. And although you're not supposed to say, better if it's somebody else is suffering and I'm glad I'm not, we can take the opportunities that we are not suffering from the floods, from the fires, from political persecution, and make contributions to those good causes that are helping people out. When we say, what on earth can I do? Maybe there's very little else we can do, but money is necessary. And when you stop to think of how to be without food, to be without water, no air conditioning, and no awareness of when things will get back to anything resembling normal. I could have put more examples into my talk. There's a major battle, as you know, in the Sarasota School District as to whether or not masks should be mandated. There is a chiropractor in Venice that is seeming to write many of notes giving people exemptions. I suppose we could do a major fundraiser and write notes for religious exemptions, but no, that is wrong, and you can't do it. Because whatever we do, we want to reduce the danger. Now, I don't know, I want to point something else out. I don't know how many of you noticed the plastic shield that is here. Yeah, I would not have noticed it except for the reflection, except I knew it was being put in. This is to reduce the spread of any disease. There's certain things in life we can't conquer, but we can make life better for other people and make life better for ourselves. And I just hope and pray that this high holiday season, which is right upon us, will be a time for us to think about what we can do for our fellow human being and how we, as a community, this Jewish community on Longboat Key, can keep itself strong for the future. May God give us the strength and the courage to keep pushing ahead, to keep our community alive and well and healthy and able to help others. Let us continue our service now on page 283. Please rise for the adoration. Please be seated. A prayer before the Kaddish, page 292. When cherished ties are broken and the chain of love is shattered, only trust and the strength of faith can lighten the heaviness of the heart. At times, the pain of separation seems more than we can bear, but if we dwell too long on our loss, we embitter our hearts and harm ourselves and those about us. The psalmist said that in his affliction he learned the law of God, and in truth, grief is a great teacher when it sends us back to serve and bless the living. We learn how to counsel and comfort those who, like ourselves, are bowed with sorrow. We learn when to keep silent in their presence. and when a word will assure them of our love and concern. Thus, even when they are gone, the departed are with us, moving us to live as in their higher moments. They themselves wish to live. They remember them now. They live in our hearts. They are an abiding blessing. And we need to mention all those who have lost their lives with the floods and the fires, all those who have lost their lives as a result of what's been happening in Afghanistan. We mentioned the recently departed in our own congregation and our friends and family: Roberta Berger, Jim Gardner, Alan Schottenstein, Shelley Goldblatt, Kurt Einstein, Marion Einstein, Jerry Saul, Joshua Haran, Ronald Lebo. We remember those whose yard-sites occur at this time: Simon Ash, Lisa Belden, Arthur Grant, Albert Kasdan, Omar King, Ada Levine, Rose Latkoff, Marvin Newmark, Reuben Pollock, Anna Pollock, Oscar Resnick, Vivian Ross, Belle Schiller, Sally Shapiro, Sadie Snyder, Morris Stern, Harold Strogoff, Harvey Zatko. If you have additional names, please. Yes, go ahead.
Richard Lebo and Peter Rosedale.
Yes,
Elaine Stolen.
yes, Mary.
Earl Jack.
May their memories stay alive in our hearts, our thoughts, and our deeds as we turn to page 294 and rise for the Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah ve'alma divrach cherutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayei chon u'vyomei chon u'v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael b'gala u'bizman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevorach le'alam u'la'amei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitalei v'yitalal Shmei dekutsha brechu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechamata damiran ve'alma v'imru Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shamaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. May the source of peace grant peace unto those who mourn and comfort the bereaved among us. And let us all say Amen. Please be seated, and I call on Stuart Sinai, our president, for a few announcements.
Thank you, Rabbi. Rabbi, thank you for your always, and especially tonight, so relevant and serious concerns of the day. It reminds us all how far we have yet to go in our world. Dr. Mo and Kai, thank you for the beautiful music and your enchanting songs tonight. Just beautiful. And thank you for bringing us the beauty of light, lighting our Shabbat candles tonight. As I'm sure you know, it takes an enormous amount of effort to put on what's coming up beginning Monday evening, our high holiday services. Scheduling, calling people to get volunteers, mailings, preparing sermons, preparing the music and choir, arranging the luncheon at Michael's on East, soliciting RSVPs, making a schedule of the order of services, choreographing and writing every step of the separate services, including who will do what and when, including who will be on the bema and who will handle the Torahs, who will speak, when the cantor will chant, when the choir will sing, who will open and close the ark, and of course what time each service will begin. There are innumerable details that must be set in place. And surely last-minute changes have changed those carefully worked out schedules due to COVID. So I want to recognize some special people, and I'm sure I'll miss some. Of course, Rabbi Snyderman and our Executive Director Isaac, our office and technical staff, and Raj Fleischer, who arranged the luncheon at Michael's. But a special recognition goes to Elise Galinsky, who put together an order that is written out, choreographed in detail by detail. Who does what and when. She called tens of members to get them to participate. When they volunteered but then dropped out, she had to get others. She got people to be greeters, to be stationed at the door, to ark openers and Torah carriers, Torah holders, the order of Elias, and whatever else a complicated stage script required. She turned chaos into order. A special thank you to Elise. And now on to a few announcements. Although I could keep talking about Elise forever, but Carol brought her coat to make sure I don't talk too much. To the rabbi's pleasure, of course, too. By the way, I promised the rabbi I was only going to speak once during the high holidays. And I'm going to do that on Monday night, Erev Rosh Hashanah. And it's going to take me 5 minutes. So I hope you don't doze off that night. Take some extra coffee, but it will be limited to 5 minutes, or Carol will come up here and push me down. Now on to those announcements. Of course, tomorrow's service is at 10. On Monday, if you've ordered dinners, please pick them up between 3 and 3:30 here at the temple. On Monday evening at 8 p.m., Erev Rosh Hashanah, we look forward to a good number of congregants being here, all wearing masks and social distancing. Carol and I wish you a good and meaningful Shabbat and look forward to your presence in person or by means of streaming during the high holidays. Thank you.
Thank you, Stuart. Let me say also, I was supposed to announce, it is very easy for me to know who everyone is because I recognize you, but over the high holidays, we may see people that we haven't seen in a very, very long time, and while they're wearing masks, we won't know for sure who they are. So we are going to do a collective act of forgiveness. If anyone doesn't recognize you or you don't recognize anyone, there's a good excuse. Let us turn to page 5, and we rise for the singing of the Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu le'olam, borei pari hagafen. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu le'olam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodshu. Evil
let us conclude with the singing of Lo Yisa Goy.
Lo yisamoya kodera, lo yivildu hodilhamo. 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 Lo yisamoya kodera, lo yivildu hodilhamo.
May this Shabbat be uneventful. May we have peace and quiet and good health and safety. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May the Eternal One bless us by protecting us. May the Eternal One be gracious unto us. May the Eternal One grant us peace. Good Shabbos, Shabbat Shalom. Yeah, I'm coming. Do I need to bring the chart with me? No.